If books could speak, today let's talk about Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Rich Dad often said that financial intelligence is not innate, but developed through practice. But why, from childhood to adulthood, do we have no subject that teaches us how to manage money?
Because the education system is designed to train good employees, not to train bosses.
Wait a minute, is the education system really just training employees?
That's right. School teaches you how to comply, but never how to manage money.
It really is a heartbreaking truth.
Therefore, from the very beginning, we have been shaped by the mindset of being employees. Studying hard and finding a stable job is the starting point of the poor mindset.
So, how do rich people educate their children?
Rich people teach their children how to make money work for them, not to work for money.
But since I was little, my parents always said that education is the most important. Could it be that this viewpoint is wrong?
It's not that it's wrong, but it's not enough. A degree only helps you acquire work skills, but it doesn't teach you the principles of wealth creation.
Could you explain in more detail?
Poor dad values degrees. Rich dad values financial intelligence. One side helps you become a good employee. The other helps you become the owner of your own assets.
I feel like I've been deceived my whole life. So, isn't a stable job supposed to be a symbol of success?
Stability is just an illusion. Relying on a single source of income is actually a high-risk behavior.
What does high risk mean?
It's like putting all your eggs in one basket. If the basket breaks, you'll lose everything.
You mean that pursuing the so called iron rice bowl makes me less secure? So, in the end, what truly brings a sense of security?
True security comes from your ability to solve your financial problems, not from a stable salary or relying on someone else to pay you.
But why do my parents still insist on me finding a stable job? They love me.
Yes, they love you, but they educate you through fear.
Fear. Why is that?
Poor dad feared failure, so he pursued stability. As for rich dad, he viewed failure as a lesson and dared to take risks.
So their love has unintentionally limited my abilities?
This realization truly upends all my previous thoughts. Mixed with fear, it will become a chain.
Is there any example?
The poor father said, "We can't afford to buy it." The poor father said, "We can't afford to buy it." The rich father asked, "How can we buy it?" And the rich dad asked, "How can it be bought?" Just one different statement, but the mindset is worlds apart. Now I often tell myself, I can't afford it. Now I often tell myself, I can't afford it. In fact, this is the gap in my mindset. This is the gap in thinking.
So, how does the rich dad define assets and liabilities?
Assets are things that put money into your pocket. Debt is what takes money out of your pocket.
This definition is completely different from my original perception.
Most people confuse assets with liabilities and end up buying liabilities, then wonder why they are getting poorer and poorer.
Wait a minute. According to what you said, buying a house and having to pay installments every month, is that also considered debt? This is unreasonable.
Yeah, the house you're living in is a debt because it keeps taking money out of your pocket.
But what if its value reaches several billion dollars?
Unless it generates income from renting or appreciates in value, it remains a debt, no matter how high its value is.
My perception has really changed. So, what about the car we bought? Is that also a debt?
Almost all personal belongings are debts, including cars.
Why? Because they depreciate over time and incur additional maintenance costs.
The rich prioritize buying assets, while the poor prioritize buying debt. It's really scary. We think we are investing in life, but we are just buying debt.
So, what is truly considered an asset? So, what is considered a real asset?
These are things that can generate passive income, such as real estate with rental income, dividends, tax refunds, business profits, or anything that can make money grow on its own.
Why doesn't anyone teach us about these things in school? I feel like I'm financially illiterate.
Because most teachers are also financially illiterate.
Is it really that serious?
They teach you to be a good employee, not to master your own money. The education system was created during the industrialization era.
He said that the rich father let his children be exposed to money from a young age, even without fearing failure. This is completely contrary to the way we are taught to save money from a young age.
Learn through play and eliminate fear. Rich dad wants his children to understand money through games.
But what if it fails? Isn't it a loss?
The cost of a small failure is low, but the lesson learned is very valuable. Financial literacy needs to be practiced, not just understood theoretically.
Have we become those poor dads but sophisticated?
Educated, employed, but both afraid of money and lacking understanding of it.
This description is very accurate.
Modern people are busy making money, but they don't know how to make money work for them.
It sounds too much like my daily life. Is there a technical term to describe this state?
This is exactly the hamster wheel, like the hamster running its heart out on the wheel. It looks very busy, but it's just going around in circles. A bitter realization.
So, if there's no money, how can we invest? Are we really going to get rich just by imagining it?
Not having money is just an excuse, not a reason. The question of how to invest when there is no money is actually very simple. Real investment begins with investing in intellect. Financial thinking is a form of thinking that does not necessarily require a large amount of capital to start.
Investing in intelligence, you mean we must learn financial knowledge first, right? But there are countless financial courses out there. How do we know which one to choose now?
Let's start by understanding the four most important aspects of finance.
What are those four aspects?
Understanding accounting, investment strategies, market trends, and legal knowledge. Not every course is worth it. The most important thing is to cultivate independent thinking.
That sounds good. So, what specific changes should I make starting tomorrow?
Let's start by keeping track of expenses and learning how to invest. First, track your cash flow, meaning record all your income and expenses. For 30 days, honestly record every penny that comes in and goes out. You must understand the situation clearly in order to change it.
I can handle the bookkeeping, but investing is too scary. I'm afraid of losing money.
The fear of the unknown is the biggest barrier.
So, how can we overcome that fear?
Start practicing with a small amount of money, such as buying a book, taking a course, or trying out a side job. Investing in yourself is never a mistake.
I think I understand now.
For ordinary people, investing in their mindset and skills might be even more important than investing money. It is true that we often understand that the poor work for money, while the rich have money work for them.
But why are there people who study a lot but still can't make money work for them?
That's because money only understands the language of financial thinking. So first invest in your financial mindset.
As for the issue of how to escape the hamster wheel, constantly earning and spending, going around in circles without breaking free,
The important thing is that you must realize you are going in circles. After realizing, you need to stop and ask yourself, what do I truly desire? It's not about doing more and more work, but rather letting your assets generate income for you. Thus, the key to achieving financial freedom does not lie in how much you earn, but in how much you keep. Financial freedom is not about the amount you earn, but about the ability to manage and create value from what you have.
listening to these analyses, I realize that Rich Dad, Poor Dad is not just a book about financial management, but also a book that completely changes our way of thinking.
That's right. The greatest poverty is the poverty of thought. When you break the chains of thought, the path to wealth will just begin.
Truly impressive. Today's session has completely changed my perception of money.
But action is more important than awareness. Let's start applying these principles starting tomorrow.